Good day again. Let me welcome you to get your day started. It's going to be a great time today. It's a day of light. It's a day of open doors. Lines are falling onto you in pleasant places. Things are working for you. Doors are opening for you. Your proposals are accepted. Your projects are finding implementation. Men are coming to help you. You are making progress in fulfillment of your purpose and dreams for life today. I want you to get excited because today is a bright day. Remember, God does not preserve what is not valuable to Him. The fact that you were preserved to wake up this morning is an indication that great things are loaded for today for you. I like one verse of scriptures that said He daily loaded each day with His benefits. There are a lot of benefits for you today. I like you to keep assessing them. Make it a trial again. Give it an attempt again. Take a step forward from wherever you are today because things are going to fall in line for you. Thank you so much for joining us on Get Your Day Started today. Please do well to send this link across to your friends, to your colleague, to your acquaintances, and everyone that you think needs to make progress in life. We started some days ago on capacity development, and we've made some salient points that I need to remind you of again. We said our capacity is what determines our level of reach, is what determines our spread of impact, our domain of control, our extent of influence, our speed and rate of growth, our frequency of returns from investment. It's what separates the big from the small. It's what separates the rich from the poor. It's what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. The truth is that many people that are doing well around you now are not really better than you. Have you ever seen most of the times that the one who leads the class are not actually the best in the class, but they are the ones who know how to engage the right principles, who knows how to maximize themselves, who understands what it means to know your learning style, who knows when to read, how to read, where to read, and they are leading the class. So greatness in life is not about what you are, it's about the kind of person that you are. That is some of the things we are going to consider in capacity development. Let me just tell you this, that you can't begin to describe a tree by the seed, because there are some seeds that are very small, but when they are planted, they bring out a very great tree that is very big. Look at, for example, a mustard seed. A mustard seed is very small, but when you plant it and it grows, it becomes very big. Have you ever imagined that there are some big trees that came from a very small seed? That is who you are. There is something big inside of you. There is something great inside of you. There is something powerful inside of you. There is something that the whole world is waiting for that is inside of you. There is something that your generation cannot feed on alone that is inside of you. There is a wisdom that is inside of you. There is an invention, there is an innovation that is right inside of you. Look at people like Thomas E. Edison, who in his lifetime was able to patent about 1093 inventions. Just a man. I also saw a man that is still living on the surface of the earth who had about 9,000 patents. That is wow. 9,000 patents by an individual. How did he get such a thing? Is it the same body, the same head, the same brain, the same hand that every one of us have? But the truth is this: he's been able to explore himself. He's been able to explore himself to find out what he carries inside of him, and he was just enjoying it. He was just expressing it. Then he could patent something that is as much as 9,000 patents on the surface of the earth. That is wow. And that, let me tell you this, there are individuals who had become professors, who had become emeritus, who had not patented one thing. Whereas there is an individual who patented about 9,000 plus inventions on the surface of the earth. Some of the patents made by Thomas A. Edison, we have not yet to recover from it till today. Example, incandescent light bulb, we are not yet to recover from it today. Just an individual with great patents. And let me submit from this that there are so many people who die with their patents inside of them. There are so many people who die with their gifts inside of them. That's why one of my referred mentor, Miles Monroe, said the greatest place where you can find deposit where you can find greatness is inside the grave, because so many people die with their greatness inside of them. So many people die with their gifts inside of them. Just see the number of poems that was written by Solomon alone. That's wow. About 1,000 poems by just an individual. That is wow. So that's telling you there is so much inside of you that is waiting for expression. There are so more inside of you that is waiting for manifestation. No wonder the Bible even said the earnest expectation of the world waits for the manifestation of the sons of God. That is, world is waiting for your manifestation. Your generation is waiting for your manifestation. The solution you are going to provide, the world is waiting for it. The world is in need of it. I'm not talking about your community. I'm not talking about your family. I'm not talking about your locality. You were not built for your family. You were not built for your locality. You were built for the world. So the material that was used to build you is a material that is world compliant. Wow, that is great. The material that was used to build you, the component that you possess, the features that you possess, the capability that you possess is what the whole world can feed upon. Look at the wisdom of Joseph. Was enough to save a whole nation for good 14 years by the wisdom that he carries inside of him. So what you have inside of you is something that the whole world can feed on. That's why so many people die of frustration, so many people die of suffocation, so many people die of being dejected, rejected, not happy, because there's something inside of them. People are divided into 3 categories: those who know that they have something inside of them and they are giving expression to it. Number 2, those who know that they have something inside of them and they are not giving expression to it. And number 4, those who don't even know that they have something inside of them. I want you to know that something great is inside of you, and I want you to begin to give it expression, because the whole world is actually waiting for what you have inside of you right now. So please, let's get to it in this series of capacity development, as we begin to look at a few things that we need to consider about capacity. We said that capacity is what sets ceilings on your life. It's what sets ceilings on what you are doing, and that's why you must, as a matter of fact, remove those ceilings. If you are doing so well with those ceilings on your life, just imagine that somebody that is running with a great speed with his handbrake on. See how far that person will go. Yes, the person will be moving with very slow speed, but will be making a lot of noise. And very soon, that engine is going to burst. Not that it's not putting much energy, not that it's not putting all into it, but because is not removing that leverage, that limitation that is upon his head. Some of us, our limitation are the things we learned from academic system. Our limitation are things we learned from our parents. Our limitation are things we learned from the environment that are set ceiling upon our life. They have told us some things are not possible. They have told us that things has to go this way. They have told us that this is the way things has to go. Whereas what you have inside of you can go further than that. They are slowing you down. And that's why I'm telling you today, the world is waiting for you. Now, I've given you examples of companies in the world that started as with an individual. But today those companies are employing millions of people. Take, for example, a company started by Sam Walton, Walmart. Walmart employs about 2,200,000 persons on the surface of the earth. A company started by 1962 is able to employ 2.2 million people on the surface of the earth. Does that not surprise you? In revenue, they have over 14 billion as of 2019. Just a store that started with one person. You want to consider Amazon, a company started by Jeff Bezos in just 1994. That company now in revenue as of 2019 is about 87.4 billion just by e-commerce. Look at Volkswagen, just a company that started in 1937. Some of us don't know that Volkswagen is one of the biggest automobile company in the world. In revenue, as of 2019, they had about $278 billion. Most of the great big cars that we have on the surface of the earth are made by this company, Volkswagen. Some of us are familiar, said they don't use Volkswagen in Nigeria and all that. Bugatti, cars like Bugatti, they are cars, Lamborghini, they are cars made by Volkswagen. It's just that they have different kind of brands, but you can see that it's a company that was initiated just in a day, and then they became very, very big and great employers of labor today. Today, they are employing over 670,000 people on the surface of the earth. Look at Jeff Bezos, a company that started in a store, in a garage, now can employ about 800,000 people on the surface of the earth. Can you imagine that? So your capacity cannot be described by where you are presently. Where you are presently is not an indication of what you carry inside of you. What you carry inside of you is great, that the whole world is waiting to feed on them. What you have inside of you is great, that your generation is waiting to feed on them. What you have inside of you is great, that your colleagues, your friends, your acquaintances, people that have not even heard about you before are waiting to feed on these things. And that's why you must take your time to develop this great thing that is inside of you. I tell people this, that heaven doesn't need your gift. Heaven doesn't need your gift. No matter how much you can sing on the surface of the earth, nobody will give you a microphone in heaven. There is no voice you have that can be compared to any voice of the angels. You can't be as good in automobiles and say you want to use it in heaven. They don't drive automobiles in heaven. Nobody needs it over there. If you can feel light on the surface of the earth, you need to begin to feel it now on the surface of the earth, because nobody will need your light when you get to heaven, because Jesus is our light. So whatever you can become on the surface of the earth, become it to the fullest. Whatever you can achieve on the surface of the earth, achieve it to the fullest. Nobody needs it outside there. Those gifts, those deposits, those passions are given to you to be a solution on the surface of the earth. I want you to begin to engage those solutions. I want you to begin to use it to impart your generation. I want you to use it to begin to impart your world. Begin to engage them. Now that is it. So the height you should get to is the height of your capacity. We have said your capacity is your ability to contain. That is, how much of the things that you are doing can you do? Your capability is your ability to do. That is, how skillful are you? Your capacity is how much of those skills can people benefit from. And that's a law of lead. That's a law of lead. Now, I've defined also capacity from the United Nations Development Program. Capacity development is the process of developing or process by which individual or organization obtain, improve, and retain. Obtain, improve, and retain what? Skills, knowledge, tools, equipment, and other resources needed to do their job competently. Yesterday we looked at how do you obtain, and we said you must obtain skills that are needed in your area. There are things that are trending in your area, that are making things in your field, that are making things easier for people. You must obtain these skills. Number two, you must have knowledge, information. We have said that top 10 people in any field are people who know better in that field. Top 10 people in any field are people who know better in that field. So your knowledge gives you an advantage over others. Most of the reasons why many people are not advancing today is because of their level of knowledge. It's because of their level of knowledge. They don't know so much about what they are doing. They don't have information about a lot of things they are doing. I've had so many individuals who said, I want to become this, I want to become that. I ask them questions. Who is the best in your field? Because if you don't actually know who is the best in your field, you may be a local champion. You may think you are the best in your field. For example, if you are gaining the attention of 1,000 people and you have individuals in your field who are gaining the attention of 1 million people. So if you don't have such an information about somebody who is controlling the attention of 1 million people, you may think you are the best in your field. And that is why information is important. You must go for information. You must be desperate for information, because the world we are is a dynamic world. You must know how to obtain information. The world we are is a dynamic world, and that's why you see people go to seminars, people go to conferences, people read books. That's why you see people buy books. Head of organizations organizations, executive officers in organizations, they go to read books. They want to know better than others. No matter what you are doing, information puts you ahead of others. No matter what you are doing, even if you are selling groundnut, if you are informed, can you imagine that somebody who is selling groundnut is reading a business book by Jeff Bezos? The truth is that principles of life are universal. No matter the field where you are, even if you are in academics and you read a business book, it helps you to manage your time, not like any others, but as somebody who is business conscious. So there is no information you get that is a waste, no matter what they feed. Information in business can help your marriage. Information in business can help your church. Information in business can help you as a civil servant. So there is no information that is a waste, because all of them are applicable, because all of them have this basis of principles of success. And that is why it is very important that you must obtain information. You must be desperate for information. You must know what is happening, what is the trend, how are people doing things. If you have been sewing cloth in the old way people have been sewing cloth, maybe you are old school. People now sew cloth and package them, put them in nylon and put label on them and give good finishing that makes it better than others. People now have a doll, people now have a manicure that they put their cloth on to design, to put it across the world. Remember what I told you, that your vision is not supposed to end locally. Your vision is meant to address global challenges. So if you don't package it for a global audience, don't obtain information for a local audience. Obtain information for global audience. Why? Because you are a global entity starting on a local platform. So look at where you are going and use that to collect information. When they tell you to come and make presentation, don't make presentation as a local entity. Yes, you are making it to a local people, but make presentation as a global entity. And you cannot make presentation as a global entity if you don't see how global people make presentations. And that's why it's very important for you to obtain information, knowledge in your feed. What is happening in your feed? Who are the people that are trending in that feed? Who are the people that are doing well in that feed? Who are the people that are making it in that feed? What are the principles that they are engaging? What are the network that they join? What are the actions that they take? What kind of book do they read? Now, you know, I love something about children of Bishop David Oyedepo. You see all of them, they are almost doing the same thing, but they are also getting almost the same result. The truth is this: if you walk in the step of a giant, even if you are copying it, just walk in the step of a giant, the only thing that can happen to you is that you will only stop where the giant stops. But some of us have not even stopped where the giants stop. For example, Jesus saying that if you believe in me, the work that I do, you will do. That is, if you follow my steps. Some of us, he even said, greater works shall you do. If some of us can do what Jesus did, we will not even beg for greater one. Because what he did is enough to wow the whole world. So likewise, if you walk, you just copy and paste the step of a giant. Have the same heart that giant has the same behavior and attitude that giant have the personality of a giant. Just walk like it. If you will definitely, if you are putting your step where he puts his last step, put your step in the where he puts his next step, you will definitely get to the same destination that giant gets to. That is what information affords you. Information helps you to see what others are doing, to see what is happening all across the world. You can see what is happening in United States of America. You can see the way people are doing things in United States of America. You can see the kind of impact they are making in United States of America. You can see how people in your feed are being challenged. There are some people that what the knowledge they have about roadside mechanic, for example, automobile mechanic, is the same knowledge they are still using in the last 15 years. You have to advance. People are changing. The truth is that it doesn't take much. It doesn't require much. Just little packaging, a little blending, just innovation, a few things that you see others do and say, wow, it doesn't require so much than what you have. It's not asking for more resource than what, that is truth. Most of the times, it's not really asking for more resource than what you have. But because we are not informed, information opens our brain. Information opens us to see what we can do, to see how we can do it. It even gives us more knowledge about how applicable some of the knowledge and concept that we have can be used. So that is why we must be desperate for information. Get audios, get videos. There are prices to pay. Everything in life has a price tag. That's the truth. If you are going to be great and your reach is going to be great, you have to be ready to pay that price. Everything in life has a price tag on it. If you are not ready to pay the price, you are not ready to pick it. Life is like a supermarket. If you are not ready to pay the price, just like somebody said, somebody said that life is like a restaurant. In a restaurant, what you do is that in restaurants you pay before you eat. But in a fast food, you pay before you eat. But in a cafeteria, you eat before you pay. Life gives you the presentation of paying before you eat. You can't get the glory if you are not ready for the story. That is the truth. And one of the prices you need to pay is the price of knowledge. They can't be teaching you with archaic knowledge. For example, some students are being taught in archaic knowledge, things that are not relevant in the marketplace. You can't be taught what is not relevant in the marketplace and you get to the marketplace and you think you were there. No, it doesn't work that way. So you must learn how to obtain tools. There are also tools that are applicable in your field. There are tools that are applicable that will expand your capacity, will make you do better than you are doing. And there are also equipment that you need to also get. Also, we said capacity development is how to obtain skill, knowledge, tool, and equipment, how to retain. Now, it's not enough that you have one information. You must learn how to maintain that information, how to retain it, how to maintain it. How do you retain and maintain it? You go for knowledge. You go for knowledge. Because you will see how people are doing it around you. You see what they do. Because the truth is this, the information of yesterday can be obsolete today. Because things are dynamic. Things are changing. Life is changing. If you don't know what is obtainable now, and you apply it to now, tomorrow, it may not work. Because things are dynamic. Life is changing. You must continually update yourself by seeking for information. How do you update yourself? By joining the right network of people who are making progress. People have also faced the same challenge that you are about facing. By the time you do that, you have opportunity and privilege to be able to make improvement on your life. You can't stay on the same spot with the same knowledge. Remember somebody once said that about this thing said, if you do the same thing the same way and expect a different result, he said that is the definition of insanity. And that's what most people do. You do the same thing the same way you did it yesterday and you expect a different result. It's not possible. You expect different customers. You want to attract different customers. It's not possible. There is a way to package yourself to attract big customers. There is a way to package yourself to attract local customers. You have to be dynamic. You have to retain your status. Retaining your status. Many people were rich yesterday that are poor today. Why? Because there are things to do to sustain richness. There are things to do to sustain your relevance. And that is in a place, if you want to retain capacity, you must be careful to seek for knowledge. And also seek for tools that are applied in those areas. Now, capacity development is about changing and modeling who you are. That is consistently changing and modeling who you are. It is about your person, not about what you are. It's about who you are. And that's why it's about capacity development is about changing you. Your real you is inside. Your real you is your person inside, the person inside. And that's why you see it's in this hierarchy of spirit, soul, and body. Your spirit takes predominance or rules over your body. Your spirit rules over your spirit the same way your mind rules over your body. So you have to learn how to develop your mind consistently. how to update your mind constantly, because capacity development is about your personality. It's about who you are, not what you are. So you must keep updating yourself. I tell people, how powerful is a computer system? It's not about the casing. There are small computer systems that I was looking at some phones that they call those phones phones of 1.5 million and all that. I look at them. What is the size? It's not bigger than the kind of phone that I have. But what is the difference? What it has inside. The software inside, the application inside, what you can use it for. Likewise, human beings, we can look like the same, but we are not the same. What is inside of us are different. Now, how do you know the value of a man when you see both of them talk? Because from the abundance of heart, mouth speaketh. When you see both of them talk, two people talk, the words that proceed from their mouth will tell you the value that both of them carry. The words that produce out of your mouth will determine the respect that you give to both of them. Do you know it's possible to give respect to somebody who is a mister than somebody who is who carries a big title? Why? Because of what proceeds from both of them will now determine the kind of value you give to them. So your real value in life is a function of what you carry inside of you. Just the same way the value of a computer system is determined by the kind of operating system, the kind of random access memory, the kind of processor that's inside of it, the purpose for which it is used for. Just imagine that in your organization, a system that is used to pay salary may be very, very more important than a big system that is not doing anything. So why was the difference? What it is used for. So the value you give is what determines your quality. That's why capacity development is about enhancing your value. It's about developing your person. It's about building you up to be your See, let me tell you this. The sky is not our limit. The sky is a stepping stone. Nobody can determine how far you can go. It's you. It's you that can determine how far you are going. Your extent in life, your limitations in life is set by you, not by anybody. And that's why we'll stop on this point today. We'll mention 3 areas of capacity development. Number 1 is physical area. Number 2 is your mental capacity development. And number 3 is your spiritual capacity development. Yeah, in this case, the list of them is physical capacity development. The second one is the mental capacity development. Those who are mentally developed, they employ those who are physically developed. And that's why they bodyguards, because they have built their body and all that. So those who are spiritually developed controls the mental and also controls the physical. So you must work on your spiritual capacity development. How do you do that? You develop your faith. You develop your connection with your maker. How do you develop your mental capacity development? You assess the capacity of your brain. You use your brain. You explore what your brain can do, and also your physical capacity, your body. Of course, you need your body to sustain your spirit and to sustain your soul. Thank you so much for joining us and get your day started today. I'm happy that you got something out of capacity development series. Please do well to let us know so that we know areas to improve on and areas to introduce to what we teach on Get Your Day Started. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless you.